This is Run It Back with RJ Broadhead.
Run It Back is back. Appreciate the loyal listeners and the first-timers. I'm RJ Broadhead. Tiger Cats are coming off their first road win of the season, a 37-29 win in Edmonton. That victory extended the Elks' losing streak at home to 20 games. The Ticats were shut out in the opening quarter, but only trailed 3-0. That Edmonton field goal came off a fumble by Tyler Turnowski on the opening kickoff to give the Elks good field position. The Tiger Cats responded with their highest-scoring second quarter of the season that was led by James Butler's team-leading third touchdown of the year. For the first time this year, the Ticats led at the half. Not by much, just 10-6, but it was a much-needed halftime lead. Here's James Butler.
It's huge, you know what I'm saying? We're starting to pride ourselves on starting fast. You know, a lot of games we've been playing from behind, and that was the first game. I remember Coach O saying, we got to learn how to play from ahead too. You know what I'm saying? We can't just always try to claw back and leave it to those final minutes. So it was a different sensation to be playing from ahead.
The Elks came out and scored a touchdown on the first possession of the second half to take the lead back. The Ticats answered right away with a touchdown of their own. It started with Tyreek McAllister's 46-yard return. James Butler ran for 24 yards on the drive, and it was finished by Matt Schultz. His first touchdown of the season was a 4-yard run. That put the Ticats up 17-13, and they would never trail again. The defense kept the momentum after Ja'Garrett Davis was about to bring down quarterback Taylor Cornelius. He scrambled, he threw the ball with his left hand, his non-throwing hand, to avoid getting sacked, and the intelligence of Stavros Katsantonis had him in a perfect spot to pick it off and run 33 yards for the touchdown.
I just saw that JG had him wrapped up, and sometimes quarterbacks just like to get rid of the ball and not take the sack, and that was kind of the case there. And like I said, just happened to be right place, right time, and fell right into my hands, and then kind of just took the rest from there and wanted to score. So it was an awesome play, and happy that we got the score out of it.
Katsantonis initially didn't know he was being chased by Edmonton receiver Dylan Mitchell.
So I just happened to peek back kind of right at the right time and just saw him and was like, okay, I gotta get the ball out, because I saw his arm up and he was bringing it like he was ready to strip the ball out. So it kind of helped in a way because he wasn't kind of going for the tackle, so it just kind of helped me get a little bit more separation. So I did not see him initially.
It was a big game for Stavros. He also had 4 tackles, but the pick 6 was needed by him as a redemption for that Edmonton touchdown to start the half.
The touchdown I felt was a little bit had to do with me, and I took a little bit of ownership on that with my DBs, because that was my cover guy, and I just didn't wrap him up when Tender cut the ball, and just didn't make the play on it, and next thing I knew he was in the end zone. So that one kind of did get to me a little bit, and I was like, all right, well, I got to have the next play mentality, and I owe us something, whether that's a turnover, touchdown, but it was definitely reassuring to see our offense drive down that next drive and score a touchdown and kind of bail us out, and then the next drive I was like, well, there's still room to make a play. So that one just it was kind of sweet just to have it that first play of that next drive and to get that one back for us.
There was some concern about the lack of takeaways by the Hamilton defense after having none in games 2 and 3 of the season. But since the bye week, the defense has had 6, 5 interceptions, and 1 fumble recovery in 2 games.
That's always one thing, is especially as a secondary. I mean, our thing that we look at is to make interceptions. So when that's not happening, obviously it can seem a little bit of a downer. But sometimes just the ball's not coming to you, or you're just not making your play. So I think coming out of the bye week, we kind of sat down as a secondary and we were just talking to each other and saying we gotta capitalize on every situation that we're in. And even if you only get one target, you got to make your play on that target. So we've been doing that so far. And like I said, there was a few opportunities for us that we still left out on the field the past game, but we're going to build on that this game and just try to make as many plays as we can.
James Butler was a star in this game. He had 127 yards rushing, 5 runs of 10 yards or more, and 2 of 20 yards or more, including a season-long 37-yard rush. He chipped in with 40 yards receiving as well. His team-leading 3rd touchdown of the season. It was impressive to watch, especially the way Butler was able to escape defenders and continually turn carries into explosive plays.
Getting more comfortable as the year goes on. You know what I'm saying? I pride myself on staying strong throughout the year. So just I have a really great trainer back home, and I grew up playing tag, and I never wanted to be it. So that's where I learned all my moves.
So that's the trick, yeah.
Yeah, just playing tag, and you never wanted to be the one to be it. So I just never wanted to get caught. So that's where I learned the majority of my moves.
So that's kind of like running back. You don't want to get tagged.
Exactly. You don't want to be the one to be it. So if you don't want to be it, that means you got to make people miss. I was just telling Tim this today. I'm like, I feel like we score all our touchdowns when we're away. We got to start scoring some touchdowns in Tim Hortons so we can get the crowds fired up. But just trying to make a play. You know what I'm saying? That's all I ever try to do. I just do my best to make a play, and guys they continue blocking. So I always tell guys, like, I might pop out. You never know. I couldn't tell you. I don't even know. But I'm going to keep my feet pumping, so just keep blocking.
Butler had only one game last season with more rushing yards. Coincidentally, it was also in Edmonton. It happened on October 21st. He had major motivation for that performance, which saw him rack up 141 yards on the ground.
That game last year meant a lot to me because that game meant home field advantage. And that game I had already bought my mom's flight for that playoff game, so I didn't want to be out of a plane ticket. So that game I was running probably a little bit harder.
In his first 4 games, Butler's best performance was 66 yards in a game. His longest run was 16 yards. He obliterated his season highs with that 127 yards rushing, that 37-yarder, which matches his longest run from last season as well.
I got off to a slow start. I was kind of getting down on myself a little bit, but you know what I'm saying? I called some people I care about, and they told me, like, just keep going. You know what I'm saying? It's coming. And, you know, that game was definitely a good reminder of that.
We all need those people, and it's nice to have that support.
Yeah, and one of those people was Don Jackson. You know what I'm saying? Which is funny enough. That's my brother, so always. And obviously he's been in the same position, so he's definitely a person I lean on during this time.
It was not all good news for the Tiger Cats. Matt Schultz was injured and will not dress against Toronto on Friday. Coach O announced that Taylor Powell will get his first CFL start. Powell saw plenty of action in the preseason, and his first CFL pass was a touchdown to Tim White. So it will be exciting to see what the talented young quarterback can do. After a slow start at 0-3, the Ticats have put together back-to-back wins. That's significant because not only does it put them in the playoff fight in the competitive East Division, but it's also a huge improvement over their 2022 results. The Ticats didn't win 2 in a row last season until October, games number 15 and 16 of the season. They didn't win on the road until their second last road game of the regular season. That was in Calgary, and an unlikely win, seeing it was the team's first in Calgary in 18 years. So back-to-back wins, including a road win, is a much better start, but the success will have to continue with Montreal and Ottawa also with 2 wins and a huge game against undefeated Toronto at Tim Hortons Field on Friday. And as always, that game will be on the Ticats audio network at listen.ticats.ca.
This has been Run It Back with RJ Broadhead. If you like what you're hearing, give us a review on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, or wherever you find your audio content.